I better start this video off by saying that even though what I'm going to talk about may seem like a rant to some, I'm honestly just reflecting upon the Skywalker Saga's current state and what I've noticed from fans the past several months. Personally, the ongoing delay and silence of this game is frustrating, but for myself, I'm a patient person, meaning that whenever we get the next update or piece of news, I mean, great, but I'm not holding out hope for a specific date or event anymore. What seems to happen is a few people begin to speculate that we'll get news on a certain day, which, don't get me wrong, I have been known of doing this in the past, but not anytime recently since the official delay was announced last year. Anyway, the event occurs or the day passes, and WB Games continues their silence about this game, and then fans become increasingly angry to somewhat of an understandable amount, even though some people do take their anger a step further and unfortunately call out developers over social media, even though they have absolutely nothing to do with the marketing for this game. Basically, they get paid to make the game and dedicate their time, effort, and skill, all while WB Games continues to ignore the fans' requests and acknowledge that this game is still in production. Sometimes it seems as if LEGO games don't matter to WB Games, which is unfortunate to say the least. Somehow, people began to speculate that we might see another trailer for the Skywalker Saga at the Future Game Show, which took place about a week and a half ago, and for some reason, WB Games decided to show off another one of their titles. I personally watched the entire livestream event, and what was really showcased were smaller indie games rather than the large-scale titles such as the Skywalker Saga, which was shown at the last event in August of 2020, which happens to be our last update. Once again, after another month of silence, fans became enraged again on social media, which is why I decided to make this video. Like I said, since we haven't heard anything since last year in August, and now we're in the release period of spring 2021, still without an official release date, here's some reasons why I believe the Skywalker Saga has been a disaster thus far. Now, do I think people will still buy this game? Of course. Do I think that everyone will be hyped again once we get another update? Definitely, but I've done some research and I do think that we have a reason to be upset as a community. First off, there's no doubt that 2020 has thrown the development of this game off track. I would even go as far to say that due to the size of the Skywalker Saga, a delay was maybe inevitable at some point, whether that be the release of the game itself or future DLCs and other updates down the road. For those that do stay up to date on the game though, last year there was a position at TT Games available for a community manager. Now, many people speculated that this was for the Skywalker Saga, possibly hinting at some sort of online or multiplayer function that the game might offer, or simply just a manager that is in the middle between the developers at TT Games and the marketing team at WB Games. From our best guess, we should assume that the position has been filled, but there really hasn't been any community engagement anywhere since the position has closed, especially not on social media, which some pages have deleted some posts for the game, which is cause for some concern. Since there isn't any communication available from the developers due to legal or other reasons, this lack of transparency has transferred over to the marketing side, which is a real shame. I can confidently say that no real marketing has been done for this game since last year, and for a game that is supposed to be releasing within a few months, this doesn't seem like a very good scenario. Moving along, some of you might not recall this, but LEGO themselves actually marketed the game back in the fall when it was supposed to release. They had product trailers available and product placements on LEGO sets, yet WB Games hasn't done anything like this recently. Even in the winter wave of 2021 sets, some LEGO boxes still featured placements for the Skywalker Saga, even though the game hasn't released. For some reason, it seems as if WB Games doesn't have the intention to let the fans and public know about this game for months on end, which is the main reason why fans have been angry, especially as of recently. For the next part of this video, I did some research on some of the more recent LEGO games and when trailers for those were released in comparison to the official release date. Going in order from the games that released from 2016 to the present, the LEGO Marvel's Avenger game was released in January of 2016, but had 3 trailers released in June, October, and December of 2015, as well as the launch trailer. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens was also released in 2016 with 3 trailers in February, March, and a launch trailer in June when the game was released. LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 was released on November in 2017, but only had 2 trailers in August and May, and then another launch trailer. And if you haven't noticed by now, each of these games have a launch trailer when the game is released. Next up is LEGO DC Supervillains, which released in 2018, but as far as I can tell, that only had 1 regular trailer released in May, and then the launch trailer in October. Finally, the most recent LEGO game was the LEGO Movie 2 video game released in 2019, and that had 2 back-to-back trailers in January and February for the game's release. I'll have a chart on screen now showing all of the trailer dates for these games, and from what I can tell, most LEGO games have about 3 or 4 trailers, including the official launch trailer. So far, the Skywalker Saga has released 3 of these trailers, but still no release date, meaning we should see at least 2 more trailers released for the game, one containing the release date, and then another at launch if it follows this pattern of previous LEGO games. It's also worth noting that most of these games have had a trailer at least a month or 2 before release, and so far we haven't heard anything about this game in over 7 months, meaning a spring release seems less and less likely as the days continue. Now, where does that leave us? Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the next official update on May 4th, like we did last year, but this time with an official release date for sometime in the fall. Then we get another huge trailer and news drop at E3 in the summer like we did in 2019, and then finally a launch trailer sometime in fall for the official release. This might not be the outlook that many fans want to hear, but based on the research I did regarding LEGO games releases and their trailers, a spring release for the Skywalker Saga seems too good to be true at this point, but this is just my opinion. Some of you might agree with me, and some of you might have already disliked this video, but if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and do like watching content like this, I'd recommend doing so to stay up to date with this game. I should note though that like everyone else, I don't know any more than you at this time, which is why a lot of people are angry, and somewhat reasonably so. If you did happen to like this video though, please consider leaving it a thumbs up, and hopefully you found some of my insight or reasoning behind why people are angry about this game engaging. I'll be back next week or so with another video, sort of an April update about this game where I discuss minor details that have been released somewhat recently. With that said though, thanks for watching everyone, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.